I'm really hoping I'm in frame now. Hey guys, so it's been a while. It really has. I'm really hoping I'm in frame. I don't know if I am. Can you see me? Should I move back? I'll move back a bit. Right. So, let's take this off. We don't need that jangling. I know it's been a while since I made a video. A week to be exact. Because I'll just do a bit of explaining. I wasn't planning to, but I will. So I've had like a really bad cold the last 2 weeks, which has basically kind of stopped me from a lot of things. I'm just gonna change my lighting because, you know. Right, okay. So, yeah, that kind of happened, and other things happened with my illness. It kind of started to get worse and worse, so I kind of ended up staying in bed most of the time. So I didn't have time to make videos, unfortunately. So this video is kind of like getting back into things, and because I feel like I don't know how to talk to a camera anymore. It's like hasn't even been that long. But anyway, I kind of got this idea. I've been doing like a lot of frequently asked questions recently. But I got this idea that I'm gonna answer some questions that my friend's sister sent to me. So let me just open the questions up. So here are the questions that she had for me. So at first she was kind of asking me a lot about ghosts and stuff. My friend had told her sister about all the experiences I'd had, and if you haven't watched those videos, I suggest you do, but I'm thinking about redoing them because I don't know how in depth I went with them. I think it was just kind of a brief thing because my friend asked me to do it, so I might redo those. I probably will, to be honest. But anyway, so the first question was... Okay, I'm back. So the first question was about channeling, if I remember correctly. I don't have that question because it was sent on like a picture on Snapchat, so I'm just gonna have to go with it and guess what the question was. So she was asking about channeling something. No, I remember what she asked. She asked something about being possessed. She asked if it was possible to be possessed, and I said basically, if you have spirits and you want them to be in contact, you have to tell them that they are allowed to use your body. So, like, possession usually only happens with demons. Otherwise, it's manifestation, and they tend to ghosts tend to manifest objects rather than people. But if you want them to present themselves as, like, in you, I guess you could say, then you have to tell them that they're allowed to. I mean, often they don't. Then they will just use your body, but like a very common thing, I guess you could say, but you know, channeling is. So yeah, so I said if you want them to use your body to communicate or channel them, not all spirits will use this, but some find this the best way to contact people. Most of the time you do have to say that they can use your body, but often enough, well, not often, but sometimes it will just happen in that case. I don't actually know why I started this video. I just kind of had this idea to do it, and now I'm doing it. I don't know what I'm doing. I've got a headache. I don't know. And then she said, have they done that before with me? And I said, I've channeled through writing, so I can tell them that they can use my hand to communicate. I have channeled with my hand before because my friend wanted to talk to one of the spirits in, like, the school, so I let them do that, but, yeah. Then she said, are they nice ghosts? I said, yeah, there's only one who isn't. She asked me who that was. I said I didn't know who he was. I think I've spoken about this in my other video, I don't know though. But I don't really know who he is or who he was, I suppose you could say. Sorry, my sock's gone all weird. But he's not particularly nice. I don't know if I mentioned this in my other video, but I'll mention it here, although I am planning to redo the video. Is that basically I was about to walk into my room when, I don't know when it was, but I was about to walk into my room and I heard this like really deep voice say, get here now. And I was like, the heck, like I was really scared. And I was going to go downstairs and say, Mum, Dad, can you check this out? But I ended up just walking back into my room and saying, no, this is my house now. You either live with it or you get out. So I said that. He's still here. He's not particularly nice to me. He tends to scare me, but yeah. So yeah, I explained that I call him Greg. I don't know why I call him Greg, I just do. She asked me if they can speak. I said yes, most ghosts can speak. Not all of them. I mean, I suppose if they didn't have a voice in the past, they're probably unlikely to have a voice now. You know, because I mean, if they died in like some way that would have broken their vocal cords, like I don't know, if they were beheaded or something like that, then they probably can't speak. But you know, so she said, what do they sound like? What accents do they have? At this point, my friend was like, you don't have to answer these if you don't want to, and I was like, it's fine, if it makes her happy, I'll answer the questions. The only issue is that it tends to, for some reason, whenever I answer questions about spirits, they tend to become more active in the house, which it did. I'll talk about that later, after I've answered these questions, but yeah. So so she asked me a bit about their accents and stuff. So I said Greg is he sounds like he could be about 40. A 40-year-old man. He has a very Scouse accent. It's very rough and gravelly. This is like what I've heard from him in a while. Like, I haven't heard anything from him in a while, which is kind of good. Edward's about 20-ish. He's always said that he's a few years older than me. He always keeps telling me that, so I don't know how old exactly Edward is. And he has a gentle voice with a very posh accent. And as does Victoria, but she's about 6 years old. Then there's the boy who only died a few years ago but followed me home. He's fairly gentle speaking, very quiet with a northern accent. And she wanted to know a bit more about them, so I said Edward and Victoria died in 1912. Greg, I don't really get to see, so I can't say. Because he tends to just show up as like a shadow. And the other boy whose name I don't know, I guess you could say he was an emo. He wears like a hoodie and black jeans. And she said, did Edward and Victoria die on the Titanic or something? I said no, in a train accident. I was told by Edward that they died at the Ditton Junction railway station, the railway crash, which I have a bit of information about here because I sent it to her. The driver misread the signal and it resulted in 15 deaths, so it wasn't just them. And so the question that I get most often is, oh no, I don't want to send her a message. Whoops. Is, how come people say ghosts are fake then if you know that they're real? Now, I didn't really know how to answer this because whenever I get asked, I don't know how to answer it. Like, most people just kind of go, yeah, you're fake, or oh my gosh, that must be real then, kind of thing. So when people ask me that kind of thing, which I do get quite often, I have to admit, like, it's quite interesting to see people's perspectives of things. And so I said the most logical way for me to say this was, it's hard to believe something that you can't see, and it's hard to believe something that you don't have evidence for. It is super hard to get evidence that ghosts exist, like to catch them on camera, to get knockings and stuff like that, because people will probably go, no, that's fake, no, that's real. So you kind of just have to go off, okay, that's most likely. I mean, there's a lot of ghost hunting shows. I'm saying this because my mum and dad are currently watching Most Haunted downstairs, which is hilarious. If you've never watched Most Haunted, oh, it's so funny, so funny. But there's a lot of ghost shows, like, I don't know, like Psychic Sally and the Long Island Medium, and I watch them and I'm like, you're just reading people, it's not real. I really dislike when people do that stuff, because people tend to seem to think that you can contact ghosts at all times, which is, like, it's hard to do. You can do it if you train yourself to do it, but at the same time, it's like, you've kind of got to just kind of you have to train yourself to be able to do it all the time, because otherwise it just switches on and off. Like, you don't know when it's going to switch on and when it's going to switch off. But yeah, I don't really like watching those. My friend asked me to watch Long Island Medium, and I watched it, and I was like, she's literally just reading people, so it's fake. Plus, there was an episode I watched, and she basically got everything wrong about the person's, like, the spirit they were contacting. So, you know. But what's the other one? Is there, like, Ghost Adventures or something like that? That just makes me laugh. It's so cheesy. It's so cheesy. like Most Wanted. Most Wanted's like the British version of Ghost Adventures or whatever it's called. The only one that I like tend to watch, which is quite realistic, like there's sometimes I go, is that just like this or something like that, or is this, is Ghost Hunters, also known as TAPS. Sorry, there's birds like flying outside. And they seem the most realistic because they actually question things and go, is this real, is this fake, like things like that. And that's why I tend to focus on them, because they do actually question what's going on, like is this a fake in this picture, is it just like a bit of dust and things like that, and when they get like answers, a response to questions and things like that. So I would recommend watching them if you're interested in it. There's also like quite a few like renowned paranormal books and stuff that I read, but yeah, like we all know, if you've watched my videos long enough, we all know that I don't particularly like Ed and Lorraine Warren, so I'm not going to say anything about them. But yeah, their works are a bit, yeah. The next question was, Kim said she didn't see them, but I said some of your other friends could. Why couldn't she? Another good question. So, this one's a hard one because it's hard to answer, like, there's so many variables that it could have been that like is the reason why she can't see them. I mean, my main one is I said a lot of the time you have to open yourself, so you have to be like, you basically have to be in a vulnerable situation, I guess you could say, in which they will then be able to kind of contact you. I've also said that maybe her third eye isn't open. If you've heard this context, you might not have done, most people don't use it, but the third eye, your brain, your third eye is the part to do with like psychics and stuff like that. It's to do with paranormal things, so like telekinesis, clairvoyance, things like that. So maybe her third eye has closed because after being a child, usually the third eye closes, which is why a lot of children, their imaginary friends are actually dead people. Like, I don't want to say that to like freak people out, but it's true. A lot of people's imaginary friends are dead people. Mine were, but I didn't think they were imaginary, so it was fine. But yeah, so I said that maybe her third eye is open. I also said I hope you know what that means, because a lot of people don't. What else did I say? But if you train it, you should be able to experience it. So if you train your third eye, you can reopen it. It's hard, but you can reopen it. And like, you know, it's really hard to do so, but you can do it. There's also some other things that I've heard of. They were the main two that I thought of. There's like a lot of other reasons why people don't see ghosts and why some people do. I don't know all the reasons. I just know that I was born being able to see them. So she said, how did you train yourself? I said the first way, I don't remember the name of it. I got told about it from family. So I said, you have to sit up, but I said sot. I put sot for some reason. You have to sit in a dark and quiet room, and you can either, there's two things that you can do. So you can either picture an eye. I'll tell you the first one first, if you want to know. You have to imagine an eye, so you have to have your eyes closed, and you have to imagine like this massive eye in front of you, and it's closed. The eye is closed, and then you have to imagine it slowly opening, and apparently this opens your third eye. You have to do it a few times, otherwise, like, because the first attempt doesn't always work, so you got to try it a few times until it does. The next one is that you have to clear your mind, and you have to imagine like a light. That light will protect you from any bad spirits, and when you see that light coming closer to you, like, it means it's protecting you more. But you have to imagine all of the questions that you want to ask the spirits, and then apparently they get answered. I don't know, I haven't tried that, so I can't say, but that's one of them. And then there is another option, which involves, are they called chakras? Yeah, so it's I think it's pronounced chakra, which is, it's spelled Chakras, which they're supposed to open, like, depending on which one you get, it, you have to, like, it opens part of the mind kind of thing. So, so you can get a chakra, and use it. I don't know if I can say this. Yeah, so I mentioned this. I did say that one way it doesn't last long because you have to carry the chakra around with you, but there are ways to use a chakra to open your third eye and speak to spirits. This is when the conversation ended. Like, my friend was like, she's got homework that she's got to do, so enough of this. But I basically said it's a quick way to do it, but it doesn't last very long if you don't have the chakra with you. And I said I don't recommend using it because it's more likely to bring bad spirits. My auntie gave this to me as a present. She gave me a chakra, and I did use it with my friends. And one of my friends got some bad results from it. I don't think she mentioned it to any of the other group, but she did get some bad results from it. I'm not really going to say anything more, but yes, she got some bad results from it. Some bad things happened. Yeah, so nothing, like, she didn't get hurt or anything like that, like, nothing that bad happened. It was just, like, something definitely followed her home kind of thing, and she wasn't comfortable with it, so I had to get rid of it. Not get rid of it, I didn't exorcise it, I just told it to leave her alone, is some of the questions I've had. Hopefully I might get some more off her, and if I do, I'll answer them on here, because I don't know. I'm out of it, really. I still haven't got my brain back from the cold, I suppose you could say. The cold's taken my brain with it. But anyway. I don't know. Anyway, peace, love, and hugs. Go hug someone today, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of my social media is down below. You can follow me on Instagram, blah, 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 Twitter. I don't really post anything on Twitter. Instagram, more so. But yes. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.